Hey there, I'm Grindfest and welcome to my Hades review. As some of you know, Hades is a roguelite action game from Supergiant Games, which is close to the end of its early access period. Roguelite means you keep some of the bonuses after you die, and roguelike means you keep nothing, by the way. Supergiant Games aren't exactly new in the business. They are the creators of Pyre, Transistor, and Bastion. I didn't play the first two, but I enjoyed Bastion a lot. As far as I know, lots of people are waiting for the full release or on the fence of buying it. So I hope the information in this video will help you decide. This video will be as spoiler free as possible story wise. You are playing as Zagreus, rebellious son of Hades. The underworld is boring and you're kind of done with Hades' shit. So you decide to pay the surface a visit. However, no one has managed to leave the underworld before, apparently. So you make up your mind to do the impossible and set out to hack and slash your way out of the underworld, no matter who gets in your way. You may experience some setbacks in your escape, but no worries. You respawn at the house of Hades if you die, all ready to give it another shot. As you can probably guess from the name of the game is based on Greek mythology. I'm a sucker for games about Greek mythology, like Age of Mythology or Zeus, Master of Olympus, if you've heard of those. And I would guess most people like the setting. You meet a lot of characters from the Greek mythology like Achilles, who is sort of your mentor slash trainer, Cerberus, Greek gods, and many more. The setting is, while not original, damn cool in my opinion. The characters are well done, most of them have an identity and well designed dialogue. All major characters' dialogue are voice acted by the way, which is amazing, and the quality of voice acting is also pretty nice. There's a lot of side stories aside from your escape. There's romance, family relations, things about some people's past. Really, I know this is an action game, but they added enough dialogue to make a visual novel here. Zagreus almost never runs out of things to say. The game is also quite colorful and it has beautiful art. Stuff is easy to read and distinguish from one another in combat. Not much to say here. The game looks nice and clean. God designs are pretty cool as well. As for the music, it's fine. It goes well with the game. It's nice to listen to. It changes at the right moments and it doesn't bother you at all. I mean, it's pretty much what I expect from the audio, you know. It's nice. And let's talk about the gameplay. Your father may not be willing to help you in your escape, but other gods will, for some unknown reason. Maybe they just want to screw Hades over or meet you in person, who knows. As you receive other gods' messages, you will be able to choose one of their blessings, which makes you stronger. The blessings fit their respective god lore wise, and every god has a concept. For example, Artemis is mostly about critical strikes, Poseidon lets you shove enemies away with tidal waves, Dionysus is about getting people drunk. They have more than one type of bonus, for example Poseidon is about treasures as well. Best part is, all gods have duo combos with each other, further specializing your builds. There are many weapons you can wield as well. Some of them actually remind me from the ones from Bastion. Your basic moves are your attack, special, cast and dodge. The sword is easy to use, has decent speed and damage. You have a triple attack combo and a slam for special. And then there's a spear. The spear is a bit of a mixed bag for me. You can do quick attacks like stabs, which have quite a long range, or you can do a wide strong slash after channeling for a short time. You can also throw it and recall it really fast. So it's got a varied attacks, you know, and you can do different builds with it. But the attacks don't really support each other, in my opinion. And then there's the spear. The spear can do a lot of things. You can throw it and unlike the spear, your throw bounces to multiple targets, so you can apply debuffs to multiple targets. And it returns quite quickly. Or you can just bash people's skulls. Oh, poor guy. Okay, let's wait for it to respawn. And also you can block with the shield, obviously. And if you hold the block and release, it does a dashing attack. And you can even block bosses' attacks with the shield if you block in the right direction. And here's my favorite, the bow. The bow does what you expect from it. The attack does a single shot, but if you release it at the right time, when it glows, you can do a power shot. And you have a volley attack for special. Let me show you something different here. So the weapons aren't just, you know, their basic forms. Without spoiling too much, the weapons have different forms. For example, with the bow you mark your target and then you can land your specials to your mark. Like they follow no matter where you shoot from. So you can like land a lot of arrows to the bosses from their backs and it feels really satisfying, etc. Or you can just channel the flames of hell itself, you know, like this. There are a lot of different weapon aspects, but I don't want to go into them too much. I don't want to spoil everything for you, so we'll move on. And then there's the fists. The fist specialty is fast attacks from the melee range. And you get an uppercut for special, a double uppercut, if you keep pressing. The fist specialty is the attack, in my opinion. You can do a lot of attack speed builds with it, and it feels pretty amazing if you find the right bonuses. The build can get pretty insane. And lastly, there's the railgun.
Thanks, Griff.
The railgun attacks rapidly, but it has an ammo and you have to reload when you run out, so you have to master the reload timing. You want to reload on the run, you don't just want to stand still. And as a special attack, it sends a nuke, which is quite different from the attack. So you can do a lot of different builds with it as well, with the nuke or the attack. Each weapon feels unique and synergizes with gods differently. You can experiment and find different builds you like. There are other ways to get stronger as well, like the items here. Some items are better when you start the run, some items get better at later when you face harder bosses, but you can change your item after you beat a boss. For example, you can start with this to start with extra gold, and when you get near the end, you can pick this up to become impervious to damage after you take damage, so you die to bosses harder. Or there are items to support the build you want with whatever god you want. And then there's the mirror. Let me show you. So as you play, you gather resources, and you can use those resources in different ways. For example, you can spend your darkness in this mirror to get permanent bonuses. You like backstab damage or restoring health after each room. Or you get extra respawns after you die, etc. And you can also decorate House of Hades with the resources. You can spend your gems here to design the hall. Like you can, for example, change the carpets or flowers or statues, anything really. You can decorate almost everything here, and Hades complains about it every time you change stuff. But it's pretty neat. Gathering resources might sound grindy, but it doesn't really feel like a Grindfest. At least it didn't feel like way to me, since unlocking them doesn't take long and the gameplay loop is solid anyway. Dying doesn't feel too bad either, since the story progresses every time you die or beat the game. The characters get new dialogues. The story progresses basically every time you return here. The combat is fluid and satisfying. There is weight behind your strikes, you can do a decent amount of combos, and the game has challenging enemies. Shit hits the fan at times. Hades will keep you thinking, like, how can I improve my build? What bonus should I choose to fight that boss easier? After you beat the game, or if you beat the game, you can play the game at higher difficulties called heat. As you beat heat levels, higher heat will become available. Low heat runs may feel a bit easy after you learn the game, but don't worry, high heat runs you unlock later are not. You will also be able to get to the bosses faster as you get better at the game, or you can, make your runs shorter, faster. And every weapon will individually track how far did you get on difficulties, so you don't need to worry about progressing with a weapon too much and facing difficult enemies if you want to try another. Being an early access game, you'd expect some bugs, because you know how early access games goes these days. But I haven't run into any bugs during my 80 hours of gameplay. It was smooth as butter. So overall, the graphics are beautiful, the gameplay is great, the audio is nice as well. This could very well be the greatest roguelite game I've ever played. About the game's cons, Maybe some might feel it's a bit grindy about the, resources or the builds are samey, but it wasn't the case for me. In fact, I think most other roguelite games builds were less diverse. Overall, I can't really point out a single negative thing about this game. One of the best in its genre for sure. I rate this one 10 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you want me to review a specific game. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!